Taking a driving test is a nerve-wracking experience for most, but for some people it can literally make you feel sick. Some people on the days running up to the test can struggle with sleeping, and some people on the day of the test can feel physically sick. Listen to Liz's experience on her test day.
So we are on the way back from a test. It's Friday morning, it's my day off.
It is.
And it was a 907 test, and we're in the car with Liz, and Liz has just passed her test. Actually, I've just thought, haven't looked up the amount of minors on there, so perhaps I'll attach that to this one. But he says not many faults on there. I can't remember what they were. We'll check the email. So Liz, tell everybody about yourself. How old are you?
So I'm Liz, I'm 28 and I work in hospitality.
Okay, and you have just started learning to drive, or were you learning to drive before? Let them know a little bit about your journey.
I did start learning to drive when I was younger, and then I done all my theories and I kept failing my theories, and then I kind of give up the journey for a little while.
Okay, so what made you decide to start back up again?
That I just want to be not having to rely on anybody, go and do my shopping by myself, get to work by myself, you know, not having to worry.
Oh, thank you, somebody's just cut us up while we're talking.
Not having to worry about, you know, waiting for a taxi or anything like that, just being independent really.
Yeah, I suppose hospitality, coming back
late
at night,
okay,
so coming back like
definitely.
That. Okay, so how did you find learning to drive?
So learning to drive, I think it was a bit like a roller coaster.
Okay.
I had good days, I had bad days.
Okay.
Would
you say you were confident? No,
not to start with.
No, okay.
But I do feel like my confidence did build as obviously I had lessons with you.
Okay. Okay. And how did you feel today? I think that's quite an important one to ask you. How did you feel when I came to pick you up this morning?
I felt nervous. I felt sick to my stomach.
Okay. You weren't sick. You did say
I
you
wasn't sick, but I literally felt it. I felt it in my chest. I felt it in my stomach.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought, no, I've got this. I'm going to do it.
Okay. And then how did you actually feel when we arrived at the test centre? Did you still feel sick when you got there?
Yeah, and I felt like I couldn't breathe.
Okay. And then how did you feel when you were
on the test? So to start with, I felt really nervous. I had a bit of like a jelly leg. I thought, oh my god, like, you know. But then, to be honest, as I started driving, I just started to relax. I just thought, you know, I'm doing what I usually do in my lessons.
Yep.
It's no different. So, yeah.
Yep. Now, obviously, we won't mention any names, but you had your examiner this morning.
Yeah.
And how did you feel with that examiner? It was a male examiner, and obviously you've got a female instructor. So how did you feel with that examiner in the car?
To be honest, I thought he was lovely. He made me feel really at ease. We didn't obviously chat loads to start off with, but then obviously as the drive continued, we had a little chat. I felt more relaxed, and on the way back, I felt completely more relaxed.
Perfect. So he felt human.
Yeah.
Yes, because obviously there's lots of stories going around that they're not very nice, some of the examiners. No. I've never personally had any bad experience with any of the examiners.
He was really lovely.
Really lovely. Perfect. So was there any particular bit of learning to drive that you found difficult?
To start with the manoeuvres.
Okay.
I found that really difficult at the start, getting obviously the steps that we were learning.
Yeah.
But then when I started getting the correct steps with the correct manoeuvres, it suddenly started to click.
Okay. And if anybody was looking to learn to drive at the moment, that maybe was a little bit, you're still young, 28, but a bit maturer, because a lot of people learn to drive at 17, 18, and maybe, looking to learn to drive. Is there any advice that you would give them?
Some days you feel like giving up because you're like, if you have a bad lesson, but I just with it and trust your instructor as well, and just basically stick with it. trying to get as much driving in as you can, because obviously I had a few extra lessons building up to my test.
Yeah.
I think that's really had.
Does that help because it keeps it fresh?
Yeah.
Because you actually did come out in the car yesterday, and you
Yeah.
have already been out with me again this week.
I think it was only Tuesday I did.
Yeah. So I think that sometimes that keeps everything very, very fresh in the car. Or in
I
your
think
head,
that really
doesn't it?
helped.
Okay. And how's this going to change your life now?
Oh, it's going to change my life. I can just go wherever I want, whenever I want.
Yeah. So you've got a partner, he doesn't drive, does he?
So we can go out and do things
Yeah.
without having to think, how are we going to get there, and thinking about travel.
Yeah.
So it's going to make things so much easier.
Yeah, nice. Trips down to the beach.
Yeah.
Trips into town. That's probably more than anything. You've got that thing about, it's obviously mostly a bit of a trek for you to get into work and to come back, and you're paying out for taxis.
Yeah.
If you're coming back late at night. So if you've got a car parked outside of where you work, that's going to make life
100%,
much,
especially with
much
winter
easier.
coming up as well.
Exactly. If you're waiting,
Not having to wait around in the cold.
Yeah, and obviously the reliability of the taxi turning up.
Yeah.
So you might be finished work at a certain time, but it might be that actually the taxi's maybe 15, 20 minutes late, and you're
usually
hanging
the
around.
case.
Yeah. So it does make a difference. So if you are looking to learn to drive, and especially if you're somebody that's listening to this, and just the thought of taking the driving test makes you feel sick, like it did with Liz this morning. Obviously handy to take a bucket with you, just in case. We bought a drink along this morning, didn't we? Well, you did, not me. You bought a drink along, and I think sometimes just when you're on your test, to stop and have a little sip of your drink, because hydration obviously does help with your mostly the function of the brain and what have you. And like I say, when you pull over on the side of the road, there is no panic to move off. You can have that little sip of your water and then go on. The examiner's not going to have any problem with that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Liz. It's been lovely teaching you.
It's been lovely having you as a teacher.
Oh, thank you. Well, even with all my nagging.
Yeah, but it's worked.
Okay.
I passed.
Is there any word that you're going to hear in your head all the time that you go out and drive in your car?
What am I going to
Anything that most probably you'll hear me nagging?
L'Oreal,
which is obviously to do with my little technique for looking around
Bob.
at manoeuvres. Okay, Bob. And mirrors.
Mirrors,
Definitely.
check, double check.
Double check, that's it, always double check.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go off and enjoy the rest of my day off. That's when this train hurry up and comes through. But that's the end of our little chat.
If you enjoyed listening to Liz's story, then give us a like, and to hear more in-car chats or to see detailed videos to help you on your learner driver journey, subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.